My name is Robert Hirsch. Let me just start out with a quick question. Who's been in blockchain since before 2018? Like most of us. Awesome. Is blockchain industry delivering on the ideals that we started with a long time ago? Raise your hand. Yes. Right. So, right. So I think we all know this, right? So every week, I have loads of these things, of problems in our industry at various different levels. Really what we've done to our industry is we don't have credibility with the rest of the world economy. World economy is like $100 trillion or something like that. Bitcoin's what, like 2? And we're sharing 1. Every new project keeps slicing up that pizza pie. And we've been doing that for years because it's hard to get real businesses, real enterprise into crypto as long as we've got fundamental problems. One of them is theft. Theft can be loss, exploits, hacks, or whatever. A lot of it has to do with centralization and custody. Complexity. We said by this time, crypto's probably going to be easier. And there are platforms that make it a little bit easier, but fundamentally, every single time we put a new bridge up or new layer 2, it gets more complicated and not less. So it's harder for people and businesses to get in, to choose what they need to do, get from here to there. And finally, most of our solutions to provide services and utility in blockchain involve centralization in some form or another. That could be custody, but it could be other things that are even decentralized, like a bridge might be a decentralized bridge, but it in of itself is a centralized solution to get from one place to another. So in the end, we get a lot of centralized solutions to provide almost our entire industry. There's a lot of other issues that if you break these down, you get more here. I don't need to go into it. There are people who are trying to attack this, but they're attacking it in the same way we've been doing for years, and it doesn't work. That's what we're proposing. We have a different way of attacking the entire blockchain industry and providing utility. We connect layer 1 blockchains directly together. This is not a bridge I'm showing here. This is a direct bond from validators to validators, and we get rid of the need for any bridges, any layer 2s, and all layer 1s that have this technology in it can now talk directly from one to another. This fixes a load of problems that are in our industry that I started with. The first cool thing that it does is that with this happening, with Bitcoin, in this example, Bitcoin talking to Ethereum, for example, what happens down here is that the Ethereum validators themselves are saying this is Bitcoin. It's not some dude who gives you a token for the Bitcoin he's holding. It's the validators in a decentralized manner saying this is the real Bitcoin. This is how we want all blockchains to be connected together. It makes every asset on the blockchains that are connected native and not centralized at some source. When you do this, there's another way to provide utility. You might think of vertical blockchains, or we call them service chains, where the service chain is connected to other chains through the same kind of direct bond, but there's a service provided here, and it's very vertical, right? It does one thing. So the consensus protocol in here can take that, the consensus can be about whatever that is. I don't really know what, it could be NFTs, this is the NFT chain, this is the digital assets tracking chain, I don't know. Like, it could be whatever you want. I'll show you an example in a second. But then the question is, what chains are you connecting to and not what chains you're building on? When you do it like that, I'm gonna use Tether as an example here. We all know that there's Tether on this, Tether on that, Tether on the other. You gotta choose, it's very complicated. There can be one Tether, a Tether chain. I'm not saying this is happening right now, but there can be a Tether chain connected to the blockchains directly through trustless bonds. Most of the bonds right now, as you know, the best that they say is trust minimize. And as you know, trust minimize is like saying you're a little bit pregnant. It's still trusted. So what we want is the entire universe of blockchain to be trustlessly connected to each other. Service chains can talk to other service chains. They're all layer 1 blockchains, and that's how we do that. It's better for developers. It's better for users. It's far more secure. You're not relying on custody or different ways of kind of holding things. So it's secure for everybody because it's all trustless with no intermediaries. It's far simpler. It looks like I'm sending from this chain to that chain's address and the address that's on that chain. It's much simpler. I didn't have to choose how it got from one to another. And finally, it's fully adaptable. Like, we can build anything you can do in a smart contract, you can build this way. So any service that people are providing in smart contracts right now with multi-sig wallets that tend to be vulnerable, are now invulnerable because they are the funds are owned by the entire blockchain itself. It's very difficult to exit scam out of a blockchain when you don't have control of the actual funds. It's in the chain. So we've solved most of the issues that are plaguing this industry so that we can gain credibility again. So I've been asked, like, how do investors invest in this kind of a model? And there's two ways. Now, I personally don't think the world needs another layer 1 blockchain, except for one. We have to show how this works. So obviously, we have a blockchain with a coin and so forth, and we will develop this entire thing. Layer 1 blockchain, service chains that provide the services that you already see in smart contracts. And so that we will build out our entire ecosystem. However, in the future, we want to connect to other chains and they can have fees in their own coins. This is going to be an open source technology, and we want to see the entire industry built this way so it's safer for everybody. How do investors get help this way? So there's an investor model where fees that are on these service chains, they earn fees, the validators earn some of the fees, you can bubble up some of the fees to the main chain, but also, of course, there is either a treasury or a new thing that you can do that focuses on utility is that investors can still invest in a coin, but the coin is directly connected to fees. Fees bubble to the coin holders. I give you a coin, now the fees are going to you. I give you a coin, fees go to you. So now investors are focused on utility and not hype. So it's a far better system, even for investors. It's like the way it works for 2,000 years in normal businesses. One monetary unit. For us, it's Zkalyx. It can be other chains, but for us, it's Zkalyx, and then investors can get more Zkalyx by doing it this way. The coin that they're investing in is not related to hype anymore. They don't have to do that. We did that to avoid the SEC. We did that to make investors' lives easier. This way, you do things with one coin. There's not two coins to do everything. You just need the one, and everybody's still benefiting in the exact same way. Okay. And then for holders, I'm trying to get out of the way here. This is our particular kind of setup here. So we have, as I told you, service chain validators will get fees, our treasurer will get fees, and then the main chain validators get fees. So holders who will be validating benefit this way. It's easier for them. Our service chains will have liquidity pools in them. Any chain we connect to will be able to convert directly, use their own coin, but the actual fees that are happening on the blockchain are in our coin here. And again, other chains in the future can do this for themselves. So now users can use the coins they hold, all still trustless, get the services they need, and as far as they're concerned, they use their own coin. And of course, as I said before, anything you can do in a smart contract, you can do this way. You can do this way better, it's safer, and easier for everybody. This is just an example of fee calculation. So if we take a small part of the DeFi market, do it this way, connect to chains like I showed with the tether there, you can see that it's millions of dollars that get accumulated in fees just by attacking a small part of just that market. Our intention is that the entire market will be done this way, but we're not fooling ourselves that it's only going to be Zkalyx coin. We want it to be all the coins eventually. So this is key. This is just one industry. There's all these other industries that we can attack. Anything that's done in a smart contract, you can do this way, and you do it this way better, and all of this stuff we can attack in different markets. Clearly, there's tons of funds to be made this way just in fees. Okay, here's my team. I'm the dude over here, bald guy. So if you want to know about me a little bit, my entire history has been startups. I'm an engineer. That's where my doctorate's in engineering. I moved into blockchain in 2013. Moved into doing actual things in 2018 or so. Herman is an expert in cryptography and algorithmic math. He's the one who invented this technology. And Tomas and Jason, these are my financial guys and my customer service kind of guy. We have a number of advisors. They're very unique in the different things that they're helping us with. Rick Schlesinger actually works for DNA. He's well known as an investor pushing forward different crypto projects. Ben Clark is also an investor in crypto. He's been helping us a lot with our models, sales models, and so forth. Julia she owned her own bank for a while, so she's helping us with access and how it looks to traditional finance. And Anoop used to work at Cisco, so he's an expert in networking and things that we're going to need for our technology side. This is how long it's going to take. So this is not an overnight project. We have to deploy technology for ourselves, and then we have to deploy it into other chains. So the path for that really is to get some partner chains early on. We'll probably hook up with maybe some of the DNA folks. But really, there are a lot of layer one chains out there that, they're shitcoins. They came on, they said, we're the next Bitcoin, and they don't do anything. Bitcoin's utility is that it's Bitcoin. It doesn't do anything. So what we're going to do is going to hook into these and demonstrate how it works with different chains that are not ours. They can come into our service chains, use our token for fees, or they can develop their own. Then we'll get into mid-tier, and then we'll see how it goes after that. That's longer than the 4-year plan. The 4-year plan here is to get to a test net, show the world how this works, how a new paradigm for the way we do blockchain is important, and then really get into marketing and so forth. We're solving problems that projects like Layer 0 couldn't solve. There's 100 different Layer 0s now because they did it wrong. They did it in a centralized fashion that doesn't work for our industry. When you do it this way, we're attacking the same market they did, but we do it properly, and we do it for the entire industry. So, to wrap up, we have scalable bonding. And I say scalable because this can be for everything in blockchain. Everything working in parallel, different chains that do different services. That's what I mean by unbound utility. Whatever we're doing, we can do it in a better way, trustless for everybody. And of course, there's new opportunities if you do it this way, because now everybody can do anything, and at even small or big. Any community has enough people in it who can validate. So it's now open to the whole world in ways that it never was before. Crypto used to be like that. You use your computer to mine Bitcoin or whatever. You can't do that with Bitcoin. You can't do that with Solana. You can't do that with Ethereum. However, if you have lightweight consensus models, you can actually now allow people to validate, earn money in this huge economy now, and have a free market for validation available to everybody, even with shitty computers. Sorry, my language. I get very excited about this. But that's pretty much it. Can I have any questions? I speak fast, I speak loud, I get it. It's hard to imbibe, yeah.
So, like a really easy way to understand, it's kind of like the snake game, but instead of eating blocks, it's eating blockchains.
Yeah, I get you on the snake game, but I really think you should think about a web, because it's any chain to any chain, and those will grow with time, but you don't need a hub like Cosmos. You don't need to build on one chain. With this, is really anybody can build anytime and connect to anything that also has this technology in it. So it's really a growing web more than anything else.
But like with the Z-axis, though, right?
Perhaps, yeah, absolutely. And big loops over some other stuff.
From here down to here rather than
Totally. Yeah, and this is what I was talking about before. This is the way we kind of envisioned blockchain years ago, like everything trustless. This is the only way to do it. I don't think we're going to have a real industry until we do something like this.
So if we're running validators, is that kind of a way to passively earn all these other L1 tokens just at once?
You could. Perhaps it'll be different blockchains using their coin for fees. For us, it'll just be ours. But we'll have this kind of like a platform where you can say, oh, I'm going to point my compute to this project, that project, this project. And if they're not paying out, you can do another one. But it's all paying, for our stuff, it's all Zkalyx coins. Yeah. Any other questions?
Where are you in your...
Early.
So are you looking for a round? Or
Yeah. We're on the deal desk. I could have included that. So we're on the deal desk. You can absolutely go in there, fire on in there. You'll see I don't have it here. Yeah, you'll see our logo on there. We're doing a small raise there, but we're in a $2 million raise there. That the deal desk is part of that. If it goes well, we will do more there. But yeah, so you can go on the deal desk, fire away right there. I know it works, so we're good to go there. Any other questions? Come on. Okay. Anything? All right, I guess I'm done then. How do you like it? All right. Nice. Where's Chandani? I'll give it to you.